Hi everyone, today I'm talking about the UK stocks versus the US stocks, and one of the biggest questions I get asked on this channel is why I always choose US stocks over UK stocks. And I'm going to go down the three main reasons why I do it. There's a few other reasons, but the three main reasons why I do choose the US stocks over the UK stocks. Now, I do think there is some fantastic UK companies out there. I think there's some companies that you could get a decent return on, but it's a lot harder finding them amazing companies than what is out there in the US, especially when we talk about international companies as well. There's definitely a lot more massive growth international companies available in the US. So my first reason, and this is probably the biggest reason, is the return. Now, we all get into the stock market to make money. That's the aim of the game. We all do it because we want to make money. So when we look at the return of the stock markets between the US and the UK, I'm using the Dow and the FTSE just because they're the most easy to compare, really. But when we compare them to, the Dow in 1 year has done 16%, whereas the FTSE has done 4%. In 5 years, the Dow did 63%, the FTSE did 8%, and overall, the Dow has done 3,219%, whereas the FTSE has done 581%. So we can see short term and long term, the Dow has outperformed the FTSE 100, and that's without getting into any individual stocks as well. If you do individual stock picking, I'm sure you'll be able to even do better than that. So when we compare the main indexes, you can see that just generally there's an easy return in the US at the moment, and that's one of the first big reasons why I do get into the US stocks over the UK stocks, just because it's a lot more easy money to make a return. My second biggest point is the companies. Now, as an individual stock picker, I try and buy individual stocks, and out there in the US there's a lot more bigger companies that are international and have some better growth opportunities because of them being international, getting into them developing countries like India and China. I like companies that we've got massive companies like Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Netflix, McDonald's, all from great growth companies to dividend growth companies. Some fantastic companies out there. When I look at a lot of UK companies, there is some good companies out there, but a lot of them are mostly UK based, so the growth is a little bit more limited, and they can also get impacted by a lot of events that happen in just the UK compared to companies that are worldwide. They kind of like, if something bad happens, it doesn't affect them as much. So I find that as an individual stock picker as well, I have a far wider and better choice from buying US stocks. And the last point is the news. Now, when I look at the news outlets in the US for stocks, it's massive. We look on TV, there's a lot of TV channels like CNN, CNBC. There's not really them sort of channels for just UK stocks. As well as that, there's a lot of dedicated websites for US companies, and they're also talking about the stocks quite often. So it's really interesting to see other people's views on the company and articles that have been written about the companies that you're invested in. So for example, let's take Microsoft. There'll be a lot of, if I put Microsoft stock down in Google search engine, there'll be a lot of articles that come up about Microsoft stock. Whereas we put some of them, if we search a company that's on the UK stock exchange, there's not that many articles about them. And one of my investment strategies is also to see, when I'm buying a company, is to see what other people are saying about that. I also find that really useful, and you don't really have that with the UK stock market. Also, there's just, the bigger variety of websites out there, CNN, CNBC, Seeking Alpha, all covering the stock market. Same again, not as many UK outlets. And also one of the bigger growth sides of it is that YouTube is so easy to find so many stock market YouTubers that talk about stocks, and I watch a lot of stock market channels, even if I disagree with the opinion, just to see like them talking about new stocks. They'll say, oh, I've seen this stock that's at this much growth, and then like, oh, I like that company, I'll go check them further. And I just get so many ideas off other YouTubers, which is fantastic. So it saves that kind of work looking for companies to search, because there's quite a few people talking about companies, and it's a lot easier to find them companies as well with the kind of the YouTube side of it for the US stock market. So that's another reason why I kind of go for, the US kind of stock market, just because of the amount of news outlets out there, people talking about it, and how easier it is to find stocks because of people talking about them. So those are the three biggest reasons why I prefer US stocks over UK stocks. There's a few more miniature reasons, but these are the three key reasons why I choose US stocks over UK stocks. I hope that helped you if you are looking at maybe investing in UK stocks or US stocks. I hope that gave you a little bit more information. And also for you guys that have asked me a couple of times about it, I hope that clarified a little bit of the reason why I do choose US stocks over the UK stocks. As always guys, make sure you give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.